Hi, I'm Deborah. Welcome to Kitchen Sense and Information. Food tips for you from the food pros. I have 17 years experience in food plants across Canada, making all kinds of foods that you see in your grocery store. And in that time, I've learned a lot about food, how to make it, how to keep it, what to do, what not to do, tricks to make it easier. And that's what I'm going to share with you. I'm doing a series of videos on how to save money on your grocery bill. And so far we've covered buying in bulk, foods not to freeze, you can freeze almost anything, what you need to freeze food, how long you can store frozen food, and thawing your food is our next topic. There will be a total of 10 videos in all. If you've missed some of the previous videos, check them out. In the meantime, subscribe to my channel. That way you'll be notified every time a new video comes out. I hope you find this information helpful. Send me your comments. I'll be happy to answer. Something else that is really important is when you take the food out to use it, you now need to thaw it. And how are you going to thaw it? Did you ever ask yourself how to thaw the food? Well, the best way is to put the food in the refrigerator for 1 or 2 days so it can slowly thaw out. It depends on how thick the food is or the quantity of food in your container. Normally 1 day is enough, but a really thick roast or a huge bucket of soup is going to need more than that. That's the ideal. However, we're all human, including me, and it happens. Oh no, 3 o'clock. What am I doing for dinner? And it's panic time. So I go to the freezer, I look through, I figure out what I'm going to cook, and I know it's not going to be thawed in the fridge in 2 hours and be ready for me to work with it. Leaving food on your counter to thaw, it's a common thing that people do. It's not a good idea because the problem is the outside of the food thaws first while the inside is still frozen. So bacterial activity starts on the outside of the food, bacteria growth, while the inside is still frozen. And then as the inside slowly starts to warm up and thaw, even more bacterial growth happens. So if it happens to be a food like raw meat, chicken, fish, seafood, these foods that are very high risk for bacterial growth, it's not a good idea. Well, in that case, what do you do? Lots of people use their microwave to thaw food, and you can do that. But if you do that, you need to do it at a really low power, like 2, for 1 or 2 minutes. Give it a 2 to 4 minute break, then another 2 minutes at 2 to 4 minute break. Or if you have a defrost cycle, you could use that. But even I find my defrost cycle, it's too strong. So I put the defrost cycle on for 2 minutes, then I leave it to sit for a few minutes, put the defrost cycle on for 2 minutes, and leave it to sit. But it's very rare I'm going to do that because I find thawing food in the microwave is really tricky. It is so easy to start cooking the food, and especially if it's meats or something like that, you end up with part of the meats cooked and burned and the other part still frozen. It doesn't always work. It depends on the food. Soups, it works better, but meat, it doesn't work that well. So the best way, in that case, to thaw your food, if it's too late to give it a day in the fridge, is get a container, put it in your sink, run cool water into the container, and just let it sit. And every 5 minutes or so, just change the water. And within normally 20 to 30 minutes, your food will be thawed. You can do that with spaghetti sauce. I freeze my spaghetti sauce because I can't use a whole jar very often at one time. And then I'm like, oh man, I want to make spaghetti and the sauce is frozen. So I just put it in another bigger bucket with just cool, barely warm water and just refresh it every few minutes and it will be thawed enough that I can get it out of the jar and work with it. So those are the best ways to thaw your food. And something else that's really important, if you're thawing meat or any food using the bucket method with cool water running over it in your sink, once it's thawed, if you're not ready to start cooking with it right away, put it in the fridge. Don't leave it on the counter. Don't ever leave your food on the counter. And we are going to talk about that in the next video also. How long can you store food at room temperature? I hope you found this information useful. You can go to my Facebook page or go to Blogger and you can find the information in a printed format if that's what you prefer. And on Saturday, June 6th, I'm starting something new, 9:30 Eastern Daylight Time, Kid Kitchen Sense, fun stuff in the kitchen for kids. It's about 5-6 minutes maximum where we're going to look at foods and do fun things with food in the kitchen. Kids of any ages are welcome. It'll be on Facebook Live. Go to my Facebook page, you'll find the invite there. The information is below on the screen, plus I'm going to add it to the comments. And in a week, I'll be back with video number 7, which is fresh dates. Dates on fresh foods. What do they mean? How long can you store fresh food? Until then, Be safe, be well, enjoy your kitchen, and join me for the next video on June 8th at 10 a.m. on my channel, video number 7 in this series. There's 10 videos in total, and we go on to a whole new topic. 3 o'clock, and I didn't figure out what to make for dinner yet. I guess I better go check my freezer, and I'm going to be using the water thaw method. See y'all.